as we come in the name of love. We come as beloveds of the Supreme. And as we just heard in the beautiful song by Shannon All, return to the land of your soul. Well, let us read from the beautiful Celtic tradition. Let us reawaken within our being our Celtic roots, from whence has come a great depth of spirituality, where many of the ascended saints and scholars benefited from our forefathers who embraced Celtic spirituality. And as a Franciscan who embraces all faiths, at the very hub of my journey is that longing for intimacy with the Supreme through the natural world. The soul of Francis. But as we say in Celtic spirituality, this love of creation, this yearning deep within our being, is like the loricas we talk of in Celtic spirituality. The loricas representing the pillars, the sacred pillars that holds what we believe in together and gives us that support. But I would like to read to you from this beautiful little book, Celtic Treasure. I was drawn to read it just 2-3 minutes before going live, and I would like to share it with you. And it is taken from Psalm 42. And I guess the psalmist is putting himself in the picture and describing his yearning for the beloved, you and me. And he says, as the deer longs for flowing streams, so my soul longs for you, my God. My soul thirsts for God, for the living God. When shall I glimpse your presence again? My tears have become my food day and night. As people say to me, where is your God? I remember how I sang and danced with others in the great temple, how I led the festive crowds. I remember the joy and the shouts of gladness. These things I remember now as I pour out my soul. Why are you cast down, my soul? And why are you troubled within me? Hope in God, for I shall again have my strength. At the rising of the sun, God's love streams forth. In the darkness of the night, a song stirs within me. It is a prayer to the God of my life. I say to God, my rock, why have you forgotten me? Why is my heart so heavy? Hope in God, O my soul, for I shall again find strength, my help, and my God. And there you have it, the longing of the soul for intimacy, a yearning, burning within our heart, like the deer that yearns for running streams. So our soul is thirsting for God's love. Let us reflect. Let us recap on this day And let us just, for a moment, focus on what is important now. Not the hurts, not those who've rejected us, misunderstood us, but what is important here and now is that we, despite our failings, despite our temptation to do things single-handedly, our vulnerability, our periods of darkness and despair, and our ailments that sometimes weigh us down, leaving us so volatile and vulnerable. Let us draw a line in the sand. Let us come now, hand in hand, as we come to this table. The table that you and I have nicknamed the table of blessing, the table of miracles. At this very table, the risen cosmic Christ always speaks to us and never lets us leave without a blessing. So as we sit comfortably at this table, let us make ourselves comfortable, because we are a beloved child of the Supreme. We are honored, respected, and we are loved. But do we feel that? Do we really feel that? Do we really feel that we are loved? Or are we alone in our thinking? Are we bereft of compassion and feeling isolated in the wilderness of our pain? Let us take heart. Let us not be afraid. And here we have a message from the risen cosmic Christ. And this is what he said to me, and I share it with you. A new day is dawning, a day of excitement and wonder, a day filled with golden delights, a day in which all those of the light shall know oneness, for they live it now. It is that knowing which will bring about the long-expected moment. And have I not said, this shall be so? Have I not said that heaven and earth shall come together, and there shall be no weeping? A glorious day. A day when the sun will set no more. Come now and be a part of that amazing moment, and all shall hear my name. And those who refuse to kneel in my presence shall not know peace. Those of the light shall see me. Those whose lives are lived in selfless love, such as yours, shall know bliss beyond human understanding. Come now to me, for I ask you to create a place of light. A place of light. I ask you to be steady, for there have been and will be many who would oppose. Many are they who call themselves mine, and yet have a difficulty more profound. For they seek to set themselves above and apart. They comfort themselves in holiness and robes of purple, I ask not for this. I ask of pure love, for pure love, in simple and uncomplicated lives. For these are the children of my heart. These are my children. Think now to a time when all was well. Think now to a time when happiness took no effort. A walk in nature's glory was all that was needed. And yet a strangeness has enveloped those who make the earth their home. They desire that which is not theirs by right. They desire that which would give them all, and yet all that is needed is stillness of heart and mind. All that I ask is the allowing of the return to simplicity. Come to me now and connect with the love that I am, and I am, and you will know. Let us reflect now. We have heard the psalmist speak to us about the deer looking for running water because the soul is thirsty. And now we hear the words from the Master, the risen cosmic Christ. Return to simplicity. Return to a simple way of living, of loving, of embracing. And it is not those who set themselves apart in their fine robes that Jesus is calling. He's calling the likes of you, Mary, and me. He's calling the brothers and sisters of Heart to Soul and Prayer Partners for Peace, who've made a commitment to support each other in the dark times, in the sad times, but also in the joyful times. And that we are each other's wings. We are each other's brother and sister. We are each an extension of the mystical heart of God. So now, as we are sitting at this table, let us come now and reawaken our heart, our weary heart, to be touched by the risen cosmic Christ. Let us allow him into our space, because he knows each one of us by name. Why do I say that? I say that out of love, because he took it upon himself to set us free from a me society, a society that will destroy the good name and the life of another so as to cover their tracks and evil deeds. He took upon himself our journey and paid the price by surrendering not just his heart, but his very life. And that's how it had to be. And that's what was foretold in the sacred scriptures of the Old Testament. Centuries before the barefoot Galilean was born. But today there is hope. And he says, I ask you to be steady For there have been and will be many who will oppose. Many are they who call themselves mine and yet have a difficulty more profound, for they seek to set themselves above and apart. We know of such people. We have met them. But you and I are unique because we have been brought to this place by the voice of love speaking to our hearts. And here we are, and now we sit, and we call on the Lord Christ, our teacher, our brother, our friend. And let us visualize that we are stood at a small wooden gate to a large field. We are stood at a gate, and when we look across the gate, we see thousands of sheep. Yes, thousands of sheep. But something strange is happening. The farmer is coming down the country lane, and he looks pensive. He looks troubled and worried. And we look at him and we say, "What is the matter? Can I help?" He said, "One of my sheep is in distress." And we say, "But how can you tell? There are thousands of them." And then we realize it is the Christ. It is our brother Jesus. And we look and we realize, why didn't I recognize him? Because we were more taken with the sheep and the gate that was rusty, the gate that wouldn't open for us because it needed oiling, because it was raining, we were wet, we were feeling sorry for ourselves. But then we seen this young man coming with a stick, dressed not in a Savile Row suit, but wearing something like old potato sacks made into a wrap like a coat and like a funny looking hat on his head. And he said, "One of my sheep is in distress." And we're thinking, hello, how can one of your sheep be in distress? There's thousands of them. And then he says, "I know my own sheep, and they know me because they follow me. They trust me." And at that, there is a sense of awe that the Christ is preoccupied by one of his sheep who's in distress. One of us who is troubled. And he focuses on our need right now. And he looks to you and me and says, "What is wrong? What is wrong that you cannot trust me? I am your shepherd." Doesn't a mother know her unborn child in her womb? Doesn't the mother know that child when it's matured and gone off, got married and living in some foreign land and who's in distress? Doesn't the mother know that distress? Doesn't she hear it in her womb? And when she rings her son or daughter in need, they say, "But Mom, how did you know this?" And she'll say, I am your mom. I am your mammy. I carried you in my womb. I gave birth to you. There is a connection with you. And then we realize Jesus paid the price for you and for me. And he knows each one of us by name. He knows who we are. And when we're down in the dumps, down in the depths of despair, when we are struggling with death and bereavement, with sickness and tragedy, isn't it true that he knows us? And he looks to you and me and he says, do you disbelieve that I truly know you? Do you not remember the beautiful poem, the verse of the footprints? Well, let me remind you, Jesus says, I brought you from the land of peace to where you are right now. And though you thought that in those rough times they were your feet, you carrying yourself, you were wrong. They are my feet. And they will always be my feet, because I carried you, and I continue to carry you, because you are my beloved, and I know you better than you know yourself. So like the farmer who comes to the rescue of his sheep in distress, they know he's coming because he calls out to them. And we know he's there because he touches us right now. Father, Mother God, in the name of the risen cosmic Christ, I ask your blessing right now on my dear sister Mary, on Sandra, on Julie, on Fee, on my brothers and sisters of the Teo community around the world, on all who will watch this recording. Feel the healing touch of the Christ right now. Feel the healing touch pierce your heart as it has just mine. Feel it. And allow his love affirm you that you are a beloved of God, that you are peace. And I conclude with this beautiful quote. Peace, it does not mean to be in a place where there is no noise, trouble, or hard work. It means to be in the midst of those things and still be calm in your heart. That is peace. And I would like us to conclude with a blessing. The blessings of heaven, the blessings of earth, the blessings of sea and sky be on all those whom we love, on all those whom we know are hurting right now. And may the blessings of Brother Sun and Sister Moon, the gifts of heaven and the gifts of earth, be in our hearts and theirs now and forevermore. Amen. And we sit at this table and we bow our head and we say, Father, Mother, God Supreme, I thank you. I thank you because you never gave up on me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of this soul reflection for Sunday, the 23rd of September. In the words of St. Francis, may God reward you. Pax et bonum, the blessings of God, the blessings of peace. Namaste.